Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Linda B, Chakra King. Thank you for coming. Manny MVP, Kimmy Kim, 75, Cash App, and BS. Linda B, hey girl. Cheryl Burnett, thank you for being here. M. Renee, I'm here for the show. Miss Rye X, thank you for being here. Okay, so let's get started. I really appreciate you all for joining me this morning. And I know that you guys are aware of that fight that happened yesterday. And I'm just going to speak for me because I don't know these people in that sector. The only person, and I don't even know what sector she's from, is Sin City Raps. I'm subscribed to her, and I like her because she really makes me laugh and she's really funny. But I was listening to Kwani uh, talk about this fight. I've heard these names. I've heard Queen 88 before. I haven't really heard of Cream before, but I was listening to Kwani last night, and she said something surprising to me that Cream 88 had 8 children. I believe it was Cream 88. And that Cream is a grandmother. And that really surprised me. I was like, oh, wow. See, because I I haven't had a physical fight since I was about maybe 19. So I'm not at any age of maturity. That's just not my thing. But if I need to fight, I will definitely defend myself. But I'm not gonna set up to fight anyone. So I found it like really odd that also, Kwani had me kind of cracking up. She said, "Girl, she took off the wig. She ain't take off them lashes though." And I that kind of like made me think of this picture. And I was like, "Girl, those lashes was on, and those lashes was on thick." So Kwani had me cracking up when she was talking about that. But what I really wanted to discuss is I found it quite shocking how people were enjoying it, enjoying the fight that, these two women were out there fighting, like it was an event. One of them had her son there and he was, jumping in and stuff. And I found that was really weird to me. And let me see what you guys have to say about that. Lord, my mama better not never do that nonsense. They both look like fools. Hey, Manny MVP. Did I speak, Manny? How you doing? Glad you're here. It's been a long time. Yeah, so I thought that I was really crazy. So, and it just seems like people are willing to come out here and fight for this type of stuff, and they won't move to fight for anything that will improve, their lives. Because if you have 8 kids, you have a lot to fight for. You have a lot of serious stuff to fight for. So I don't understand why people come on the internet and to entertain, hey, vibrant little mango, how you doing, to entertain strangers by putting themselves in precarious positions that could possibly get them arrested. And what I also found striking, um, when the fights first came out, the glee and the joy of people who were getting the video and adding in and, so happy and talking about what they would have done and how come she ain't do this and how come she didn't do that. These are people, grown people with children themselves. And this is the only thing. I was just like taken aback by looking at it. And I was just like, wow. And then to hear later on that allegedly, I'm not sure, they're denying it, they're saying it's true, then they're denying it, that a woman with a baby was actually there and allegedly took some licks in too. I was like, this is crazy. I don't I don't understand any of this type of mentality. Because somebody could have gotten seriously hurt. That woman could have lost her, she could have lost her child. Why are people showing up for these types of things? I don't know if you guys remember this situation where this mother, if you look in the far lower corner, This mother was outside of a beauty supply, and she had her baby in the lower left corner. She had her baby in her arms, and she got to arguing with this other woman, and then wound up dropping her own baby. They wound up fighting, as you see in the upper middle. They wound up fighting. The lady in the blue shirt, who's bent over, the blue shirt and the blue pants, she's picking up that 3-month-old baby. Hey, PDP, how you doing? So I don't understand why people act like it's a game out here. And the mother who was out there fighting didn't decide to take the baby to the hospital until the next day, and the baby died. The mother is up on murder charges. It's just, I don't understand why people think that they're playing games out here. Of course, we remember not too long ago the two women who were killed, who pulled up to someone's house while they were on Facebook Live. They say they were cousins. I haven't confirmed that they were cousins, but they pulled up on this woman's house. She told them to leave several times and end up, she ended up shooting them. But people are still out here fighting as if there are no consequences behind their behavior. Hey, Barry Carey, thank you for joining me. Okay, let me see what you guys have to say. Hey, Allie in Wonderland. Yes, that poor baby, because they were out there fighting. I cannot show the video footage of it happening, but that's what happened. No wonder kids in some school districts are hard to control. Their grandmothers and mothers are fighting random fights for no good reason. Yeah, that's my point. And then you have idiots out here cheering it on and anxious to show the video and all this type of stuff to promote this type of stuff. Everybody's hyped up about it, making excuses why it was okay for this young man to join in. But what are you creating out here? What are you creating? What is this young man learning, that it's okay to hit a woman? Well, I understand because his mother was being attacked, and somebody said he was on I forget what mode, like he was on defense mode. No, he should not have been out there with these grown women out there choosing to have a fight. It's just crazy. So I'm not putting myself, if somebody is mad enough at me over anything I say on YouTube, you're gonna have to come see me. And somebody, I forget who that was. I think it was Tia, who said that I also saw a screenshot of someone in that chat saying that they have the address of where this son is living. People are saying he's from the age of 16, and then other people are saying he's 18. Irregardless, they're saying look in the. I don't know if it said look in the back chat. Oh well, we have the address where the son is staying, and it's being taken care of. And that was exactly what I was thinking. Because if you have women out here so ravenous enough to go out here and fight, 2 carloads of people coming to meet one person, do you not think the men who are watching and cheering this on gonna want some get back if they were on Queen 88's side? Do not think that? Do not think that him sucker punching her in the head and then hitting her again in the head and stomping her in the back pissed off some men? And I think it was Tia. Somebody said gonna mess around. I'd never heard this before. Gonna mess around and have that boy in a wet t-shirt contest. And I was like thinking, a wet t-shirt contest, and I'm thinking like she was talking about, well, she must mean he gonna go to jail, and then he gonna wind up going to jail, and then he gonna be having to dance for the boys. And then I better thought about it, and I was like, oh, that's what she mean, a wet t-shirt contest. Somebody gonna wet him up. I was like, oh, that's like a horrible thing to think about. And they just think like, oh, it's okay. Hey, Mike Lewis, how you doing? Glad you joined me. Okay. What do you guys think about this crazy fight? And what do you, the more shocking thing for me was the reaction that people had about this fight. People don't realize how easy a hit to the tip, or somebody hits their head on the ground can cause severe injury or even death. Exactly. That shit was crazy to me. just crazy. And the grown folks who up here rationalizing it, trying to say that why everything was okay. And let's talk about the car ride away. Did you hear her say when they had the cops was following them, and they was like, put that mace under the seat, put the mace under the seat. So you got two carloads of people and you're putting mace under the seat. Like, it doesn't sound like you came to have a fair fight with a woman. But you're a grandmother, is what I've been told. But you're talking about put the mace under the seat, and you came with two carloads full of people. And this other Queen 88, you showed up alone to people who had two carloads of people and mace in the car for you, an individual with 8 children, and got sucker punched in the head, like PDP said, could have been badly injured, could have had any type of brain trauma and all this type of stuff. And but people are invincible for the internet to show out for strangers on the internet. So I just found that crazy. And I wonder, I like Kwani, wonder how, if they're advocating this hard for their children, for their children's education, for better living for their children, to improve their status in life so they can provide better for their children. I wonder, are they advocating that hard for these type of things? Good morning, Demetra. How you doing? Okay. Let me see what you guys have to say. So what do you guys think about that? Have right to be told. Nice to see you. I was lost too till she said this. His face would be on t-shirts. Yeah, I was really lost about that comment, the wet t-shirt contest. So yeah, I think it's just crazy. Okay, they came to jumper. I do believe that too, you mad, huh? And that's all I see in it. Now, you don't have all of that to just come and have a one-on-one fight. Hey, Dr. Lashonda, how you doing? People talk mess on here every day. I'm not surprised it escalated because it happened before. Yeah, well, somebody try to escalate something like that with me, and then no, it always don't go the way you think it's gonna go. I ain't breaking a nail for a bitch, and I ain't running from a bitch. Some things that hit you before a fist can hit you. Because one of the first things I learned in grade school was sticks and stones would break my bones, but words would never hurt me. Exactly. And I'm not, like Kwani said, y'all put gas in the car, y'all gas up your vehicles to go fight somebody. Kwani had me rolling. I was just like, oh my goodness. But okay. Good morning, Miss Gerald. So, what do you guys think of the reactions from the adults, alleged air quotes adults over here in the beef sector about this situation? The jovial reactions, should I say? It was some people who were saying that they definitely would not have done that, but I'm talking about the jovial reactions from people well above the age of 30. What do you guys think about that? Houston city schools are being taken over by the state. I believe that was in Houston, right? I mean, if this is what the parents are doing, it's a wonder they're not being taken over by the Department of Corrections. I can say F you so fast in my head, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. They don't affect my life. Exactly. And if, yeah, exactly. Okay to beat up your own mama for raising you to be an ain't shit parent. And yeah, she's gonna have to live with that. She's, I don't know. That's crazy. You can't tell a bunch of people that has nothing, people with careers or businesses or assets, don't act that way. Exactly, Manny. But they know how to fight each other. But when somebody's kid gets shot in the street, they on this no snitching shit, they don't know how to fight somebody who's really doing something to them. They don't know how to fight. George Zimmerman's walking around free as a bird, whistling dizzy, beating up his wives and all this type of stuff. But nobody is so angry that they gonna go and sucker punch him in the head. Like we doing all this fighting amongst each other and just like crabs in a barrel. Nobody's getting any further, but you won't fight for anything that matters that would affect a positive change in your life. None of this is affecting any type of positive change. I got a few numbers. It's crazy. I just don't understand it. So, okay, let me see what you guys saying. Exactly, you man, huh? He's a product of his environment, and the village that raised the kids are the influence. Exactly. And then some people like, oh, it doesn't take a village to raise children. It does take a village. And if you're around a village that are attacking, setting up fights to fight about, I don't even know what the fight was about. The one thing I said, who is the king of the Mo 3 sector? I don't know if that's true, but that's the only reason I heard that they were fighting. Good morning, Amalia. Okay. If anybody want to come up here and can tell me if you know what the fight was about, you're more than welcome to join the panel, because I don't even understand this. I have some questions. So if you can help me out on that, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Anybody, you can hit the link if you choose to come up here and have a conversation with me. Okay, that's what I was wanting to know. What was the reason? Okay, the link is pinned, Carrie, but I'm going to need a mod to drop it so I can see it. Carrie, can you drop the link for Demetra? Carrie, can you copy and paste it and drop it? Demetra still have. Thank you. Oh, UNC girl, she on her job today. You ain't getting no tip though. You are not getting no tip. Good morning, D Love. How you doing? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't see any reason for it, but there may be some different insight than what I have. No matter what anyone says, I believe the fight was about clicks and views and folks' entertainment. I was not entertained. I really was not entertained. It just made me it was just really, really pathetic to me. Okay. I have two people in the back. Let me put my banner up and let's see what we got here. Hey, Demetra.
Hey, good morning.
Right to be told. Right to be told.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, let me put my banner down. Okay, what do you guys have to add to this conversation?
Hey, Demetra, I got like 30 seconds. I got to get out the phone. So can I just say this real quick?
Sure. Hey, right.
Good morning. Good morning, sweetheart. So I was watching VS this morning, and they what's her name? Coolin specifically asked Queen 88 what was the fight about. So, and tried to drill down to it. She just said it's simply that the cream lady was talking trash, and that they saw each other at some boxing match the other day, and she said she didn't see her, but then she did see her, and then they were saying she was scared to come out the house, but Queen 88 said she did come out the house. So the lady has been telling her she was gonna fight her. So it is simply a matter of, you told me you were gonna fight me, so come fight me. So in other words, no good reason.
Wow. Okay.
Because Coolin definitely was like, I need to know like exactly why, and that was her answer.
Okay. Thank you. Right to be told. I appreciate you giving me that information.
Yeah, I know it was a nothing answer, but that's exactly her. That was her answer. So thanks, Demetra. I'll be in the chat. Thanks, Ronnie.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Hey, Demetra, what's going on?
Hey, I'm real glad that you was covering over here, because I don't cover other sector content, but I did watch everything, right? We broke it down back in my membership, okay? The thing I was gonna say is there's like, what's real funny is, this is a different sector and how they move different, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that was real important to remember is that when Queen 88 went to her live, after the fight, they was definitely in that chat, on that panel hollering about who's the new queen now of their sector. Right? You got to remember, all these ladies, and most of them live in the same area.
Right.
They live in the same area. A lot of the stuff have to do with one man. They clicks, you know what I'm saying? And so, it have to do with a lot of deeper stuff. And you got to remember, they had just all been in the same physical location the weekend before.
For that fight, right?
Right. And they'd all been popping shit for months.
Right. Somebody in Kwani's chat came in and said that one of them was from the pull off from the Mo 3 sector, the troll something sector.
They all the same people. They all the same people. And so I just wanted to go into this part right here, because I stayed on it for a while back in my membership yesterday for hours, and then I pretty much was done with it, right? But when I did watch again late last night, to see what the beef sector was saying, I was like, boy, people show is fake, right? It kind of kills me how people want to come in the beef sector and be a part of the beef sector because they want to act as ratchet as possible, right? I feel like people really want to act real thugged out, real black, real ghetto, real hood. You even have some interlopers coming in saying they come for the black experience.
Right? And then they're going to play like I really saw them and they really are black. The motherfucker told you they coming to find out about a black experience. But go ahead.
But I'm saying even the black people, right? But then when some real black, real hood type shit happen, everybody want to be all on their P's and Q's. It's kind of real baffling to me, right? So, if the beef sector wasn't so spread out, and it was more localized like that sector, what you think you would see? It wouldn't be all that talking all the time, constantly for 3, 4, 5 years. That don't happen in real life. So I'm of the mindset that people really, truthfully, they really do just be faking the funk, and they come on here to act out and act a fool. And that's the same thing. You see the hypocritical nature of this thing, right? People want to act a fool, show their ass on the internet, but then at the same time they want to be real pretentious and better than, right? It's real fake and phony. And then I also thought about it. Hold
on 1 second. Let me let Cruiser go. Hold your thought. Hey,
it's
Cruiser.
Me. Good morning.
Okay, go ahead, Demetra.
Another aspect of it is really, truthfully, is that since when people give a fuck, how I'm gonna give a fuck about somebody being pregnant when they don't give a fuck? If a pregnant broad coming fighting on me in the streets, then that pregnant broad gonna get her ass kicked. Her and the baby gonna get his first ass kicking, right? And so then the second thing, ain't nobody saying that just because somebody in your area, you need to meet up and fight over words. But see, again, that's like the bullshit, right? That's like the bullshit.
Let me say, if I'm a pregnant woman, I ain't going out to fight no motherfucking body. That's my point. But go ahead. I know.
But see, that's bullshit right there too. It's not the matter of, in real life, you wouldn't do all that back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Right? It wouldn't be like that. If you were somebody who wasn't with the shit, you would shut the fuck up. See, it's a whole different thing. And so therefore, to me, it's like real hypocritical. People want to sit and watch the bullshit. People down for the shit. The good news in the beef sector is that we just do a lot of talking. That's what we do around here. I'm in the right sector. I don't want to meet up and go in the streets and fight and shit. But the reality is, over these last couple of years, if some of these hoes was in the same area, I wouldn't give a fuck if I was 60. It'd only be so many words and so many offenses and disrespect somebody gonna take in real life. If you with the shit, you with the shit, and never go out you. Exactly. Now the other thing is, for real, I wouldn't give a damn about what I'm finna say. The thing about the people's son, if that bitch brought her son and her children there, why I'm supposed to care something more about what you care for your own? You know what I'm saying? Get off the gas. And then people do jump in. But this is Texas. I'm straight out of Texas. Really, truthfully, when they pulled up, and they grown ass women too, it was supposed to be a one-on-one fight. Period.
Right. But see, my thing is, it's not like I'm like appalled at what that boy did, because he is old enough to know better, and he was calculated in what he was doing. And see, the simple fact that he like a sucker punched her from behind
a couple of times.
Old enough to know better. How? How is he old enough to know better? Who taught him Do we know
True.
that somebody came in and said this is not, you don't hit a
How would you
woman?
ask who taught him when his 50-year-old ghetto ass mama out there fighting? Who taught him
That's
his
my
ghetto
point. We're
mama?
saying that
Yeah.
he should have known better, but his mama's out there fighting. So who taught him better?
Well, I cannot.
Let me
It's
tell
just,
you
you know,
something. You been
I
blocked forever, and we'll be blocked. How that cat doing? You want me to bury that cat again? Girl, boo. I hate when I'm on a panel. I gotta see dumb bitches I don't have to see no other time. But I'm gonna get off of here. The one last thing I want to say.
Who's she talking to?
I don't know.
I ain't
What kind of
talking
cat?
to you. If I was talking to you, you would know it for sure. Don't you know every time I'm talking to you? Don't
No,
you know
not really.
every
I
time I'm
don't.
talking to
Actually,
you?
I don't. I
Boo,
don't.
shut the fuck up.
I don't.
Anyway,
I don't know every time you're talking to me because you use the same read. The same read. Please come up with a new one because I got plenty of them on you. But I came up here to say this. Look,
Wait a minute.
look, I came to say this. Demetrius is exactly right.
Material,
She's
bitch.
exactly right in that
Demetra, your mic is back.
Beat. I mean,
I
bitch.
have messed up your mic, so go away.
Demetra, your mic is messed
I
up.
done messed your mic up, boo.
Demetra, your
There you
mic
go.
is messed up.
Anyway.
I didn't throw you down. Hold on, Miss Cruz. Olivia's back here, but I
Okay.
just want to bring her up. Demetra, I didn't throw you down, but your mic was cracking and messing up.
I kicked it down. Boom, get off this pal. I'm just teasing. She gonna get me later, but it's gonna give me reason to make a
Olivia?
video.
Yeah, that's okay. I just do my commentary on my channel. I don't want to put it on my channel.
No. Come on. I wanted you up, but I was trying to, get in so I can get you up.
Now,
Hey, Olivia, if I may say real quick. Oops.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Cruiser.
I agree with Demetra in that we come on here. I just said this in Sean's chat. We come on here and we enjoy watching the yelling and the screaming and the back and forth. However, I come on here for entertainment. It's just like I watch Power on TV so I can watch all that gangster stuff. But I ain't trying to jump in there and do that. That's not my reality. I'm just watching some entertainment. So I agree with her, but I don't agree with her. I agree with her in that we watch this gangster stuff and even sometimes we do it. But do we want to be involved in it? Do I, as a nearly 53-year-old woman, want to get out here in the streets and fight somebody? Do I want my children to see me fighting somebody? And it's like, if that's the behavior I teach them, they don't know any better. And I'm going to tell you another thing. There are some things that I do that I would never want my children to do. And some people say, well, that's hypocritical. We make sacrifices because we want our children to be better than us. We want them to be better than us economically. We want them to be better than us in our behavior. So there's some things that I hope they don't never see mama do. So, I mean, it's like, for me, I felt so bad for that 18-year-old boy because here he is watching his mama get beat up, I guess, because I didn't watch the tape. I didn't have the heart to. But I'm assuming that his mama was getting beat. Maybe he wanted to help her out. So it's like, as an 18-year-old boy, what do you do? And then is there anybody there to teach him that that's not the behavior that you should do?
Excuse me, Monica, I was up here first and you didn't put me down a couple times.
No.
And I had some exclusive information, but that's okay. That's okay.
Demetra, your mic was cracking. Did you hear me? Did you hear me telling you your mic was cracking? That's why I put you down when you was talking.
I don't care about what these dummies in your chat saying. Let me tell you, I heard some exclusive shit. Number one, it was a gun out there. Okay? What? It was a gun out there. But you know what? I don't have to be disrespected by nobody. You know what? Veronica, if you know that bitch started with me. Fuck that. But it's cool, Veronica. We good. But fuck these old stupid bitches over here.
Demetra, I was telling you, your mic was cracking up and you were still talking. And so that's why I put you down so you could hear me tell you that your mic was messing up. So,
the victim. She started with me. I ain't never started with that girl until she said my name. So now, just as I always say, once you say my name and you start with me when we ain't never had no beef, I'm going to say your name anytime I feel like it. Yeah, don't be playing victim. She started with me. That old bitch started with me. No, you started with me. I had never had an issue with you, ever.
And I thought you guys were cool. I didn't know y'all had no issues. So
girl, I thought we was cool too until she did a whole video on me. I didn't even know we had an issue. Never knew it until then. So she started with me.
I thought
so she could stop that lie.
I thought she
you can't start with somebody and then tell them when to stop when you started with them.
I thought she was talking to someone in the chat about a cat. So I didn't even think she was talking
I
to you.
just asked her who
So,
she was talking to. I didn't really say
okay.
nothing to her on the thing. I said, who's she talking to? I didn't know who she was talking to about cats and things.
Okay. Well, Demetra, you're more than welcome to hit the link again. So go ahead, Miss Cruiser. Like now, you said that you think that his mother may have been you haven't seen it. You think his mother may have been being beaten up real
I
badly.
don't know
No, she
why the
wasn't.
young man
I'm
jumped in.
But I want to tell you,
Yeah,
I
okay.
just want to tell you from the
Okay.
context of what I saw that why it was so ridiculous, because it was at the beginning of the fight. They were both on their feet and nobody was getting the best of anybody. It was like even Steven, and he just came around and like sucker punched her in the like from around the back of the head to her temple. And it was like crazy. And then he hit her again. And like he got the best hit of either of them. Like it was crazy. So what type of young man are you raising that is going to sneak up on somebody and sucker punch them? I don't understand this whole thing. And go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, but I just don't feel like kids, the behavior they learn is what they probably think is normal. I mean, again, this 50-year-old woman, I'm assuming she was 50 because everybody keeps saying she's 50, is out in the streets fighting. And she takes her son with her. So what has he been taught? You know what I'm saying? Who's teaching him? What's normal behavior for him? And I'm not making excuses for him, because at some point he's gonna have to learn right from wrong, look like on his own and not from his, people that's around him. Because from what I heard, even the grandma was like, yeah, you whooped her behind. It's like, what?
Wait a
Is
minute.
this like a generation of ignorance?
I just didn't, and I just didn't understand. So you couldn't even watch it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, as soon as I clicked on it, I got, I'm gonna be honest. So people gonna be mad at me, be like, "What you was mad at me for?" I got mad at the folks who sent it to me. Cause why are you sending me this?
Mm-hmm.
Sending me this, folks fighting, black folks out in the street fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm beyond fights. So I'll fight to protect myself. Yes, I will.
Protect myself. I definitely
But
will.
I'm not fighting because people want clicks and views. I'm not fighting because I want clicks and views. I'm not fighting because a bunch of ignorant ass people, including me, them pushing me up to do it. I'm not fighting, and if I fight, it will not be televised. It ain't gonna be no witnesses, and ain't nobody gonna be watching it. It ain't gonna be videotaped and all of that. I'm gonna touch your ass, and only you and I gonna know it. Me, you, and Jesus.
Yeah. Because what do I need all these witnesses for? What if somebody really would have gotten hurt? And then there was somebody who said, I think it was Kwani's chat, don't quote me, that if you didn't see, there was another video came out that they actually did get stopped by the cops, or they actually did have to talk to the cops. If somebody heard about that, can you hit the link? I didn't see anything about that. So it may have been police involved. And the crazy thing about it was Queen 80, they were saying that Queen 88 called the cops. They were leaving the park. A cop car was behind them for some distance. And then they were like, put the mace under the seat. Don't make no mistakes. Turn right here, but make sure you turn right. And then the police went the other way. So I was like, what do they mean there was police contact? So I don't know if that is true or not, that there was police contact. But the thing about it is, like, who want to put themselves in a situation and your kid in the situation that you could possibly be locked up? It's just crazy. It ain't worth it.
Yeah, I would never put my kids in a position where they could possibly get seriously hurt. It's one thing to risk yourself. It's a whole nother thing to risk your kids. And like I said, you want better for your kids, better than, the behavior you might have learned, situations that you're in, and for her to bring her black son. I know people say, oh, Miss Cruz was always talking about the black man. Listen, it ain't like they ain't got a target on their back. I would not expose my son to anything, and my daughters either, but I'm not going to expose them to anything that could potentially get them hurt or locked up in jail. The two things I do not want to see for my children.
And so they were saying that they were in the car and they was like, yeah, I broke that bitch phone. I broke that bitch phone. And by the time they went live, they was like, oh, she called the cops. She called the cops. Well, you admitted you broke her phone. So now how is it that she called the cop and y'all in Texas and y'all doing this for the internet and y'all know damn well the Treaty is the biggest cop caller on the motherfucking YouTube streets? No, I'm just kidding.
In Texas.
So anybody could have called the cops. Anybody watching could have called the cops. Any
Right.
hater could have called the cops. Somebody who
And they're
didn't.
still talking about it. That's what
Oh,
y'all still talking about it. What's wrong? Y'all ain't get locked up yet? Y'all waiting? I mean, wow.
yeah, and like you know, that's why most people get themselves in trouble because they forget that they have the right to remain silent. See, your mouth would dig your own grave. Keep on talking.
Somebody said it reminded them of kids, and I have said that many times to remind me of middle school kids. I remember with my children, my youngest daughter, it was the kids. This one particular girl wanted to be popular, I guess. She wanted to get it popping. She wanted to look, tough. So she kept starting to fight with my daughter. She told her, you can get on the bus. I'm gonna hit you, blah blah blah, fight you. So my daughter said, okay, I'm gonna sit in the front seat. My daughter had never been in a fight before. So I'm gonna get you. And all the kids were ready with their little cell phones to put it down on the YouTube. And sure enough, that little girl, when she was walking off the bus, she took it, swung on my daughter and hit her. My daughter grabbed her behind back on the bus, and of course it's all over YouTube. So I'm out at school because I'm thinking she done jumped on my daughter to hit my daughter. My daughter ain't never been in a fight. So I'm down at the school. I'm yelling, look, I'm going up there to the police station, to the magistrate, and I'm taking a warrant out on this girl. And the security from the school kept saying, ma'am, I think you ought to look at the video. And I'm thinking, he keep talking about this video. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? So finally, he brought his little phone in and showed me the video. I said, that's okay. We won't be going to the magistrate because my daughter was swinging just as hard as the other little girl. But my point is this. These were children. These words, yeah, and I'm glad she did. I was shocked. I'm looking at it in shock. I'm like, what does little girl learn how to fight? Was she fighting down at the summer school church camp? I mean, she grabbed that little husband back on the bus. She grabbed her, no, you ain't gonna hit me and run. You can come back up on here and take this. I was like, where's she learning that? But anyway, but the point is that these were middle school children. And this little girl was fighting because everybody wanted her to fight and she wanted to be popular. These were children. And you got 50-year-old women doing the exact same thing. Isn't that crazy?
In front of their children. How long have they been doing that in front of their children? Do you think that this is the first time that this has happened in front of their children or their child?
No. Oh no. This is behavior that this boy has probably seen all his life. He's probably, whatever is normal in your home, you think is normal in every home. You know what I'm saying? You think that this is the way of the world and this is how things go and this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And and I'm just like thinking, and I'm like looking at this whole situation, and I am like, this next generation coming up behind his generation coming up as adults, what kind of world is this going to be with people who have been raised this way as adult? What boundaries will they not have as grown people, and what will they not be doing? It's just scary. It's just.
And
scary.
one other thing I want to say, I keep hearing people say, and I know what they mean by it because it's something we say as Black folk or something we say as people. We keep saying ghetto, hood. Listen, ignorance transcends neighborhoods.
Everybody.
I don't think that everybody that living in a lower economical neighborhood, income or whatever you want to call it, I don't think this is not all of their behavior, because a lot of those people make it out and they go do something great with their life. A lot of those people want their children to make it out. You're going to do better than me. So I don't think it goes to where they're from. I just think that it goes to mentality. Exactly. You can live in a great neighborhood and be ignorant.
Yeah, and you can live in a hood and never be a part of nothing like this. Never be a part of any righteousness. Like how many hood? No, we know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because to me, this was more of wanting attention, wanting clicks and views, being pushed up to do it than anything. You was asking what motivated or what started this fight, and you know, I don't think you even got a good answer.
It was no answer. It
Yeah.
was just
So that lets me know that, like the other fight that happened a month or so ago, is basically entertainment for others. I'm willing to be that. I'm a play. Oh, I'll give her say monkey. Let me not say monkey, Jesus. I'm gonna play the fool for others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It played the fool for others. And that's what's so ironic about it. Coolin, you got the nerves to be asking her what the fight was about. Coolin, I have yet to understand what your fight was about. Shoot.
Exactly.
Coolin,
Exactly.
you in the chat? No, she ain't in the chat. I haven't.
And that's a perfect example. Coolant to me is someone who I see is when you hear Coolant speak, and I know you can't go by that, but Coolant sound like she's pretty smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's something they got to me that she was out there fighting.
Coolin. And I'm like, Coolin always sound unbothered, mellow, and I can't even see Coolin getting worked up enough to go out there and fight. I was really surprised. I was like, what?
I kept saying, I'm not going to say the person's name who I kept mixing Coolant up with, but I kept saying it was another person, and somebody had to say, no, why you keep saying it was them? It was Coolant. I said, I can't wrap my mind around that it was actually Coolant out there. That's why I guess we shouldn't stereotype.
Yeah, that's
anybody
true.
can be ignorant. And I'm not calling you ignorant, Coolant, but that was not something I saw you doing, period.
Coolant, I'm saying you participated in some ignorance.
You participated in something that was just totally, I mean, if that's what you want and the thing is, I know I watch foolishness on YouTube all day, people screaming at each other and yelling at each other and saying all manner of stuff to each other. And, some people might say, well, that's ignorant, or that's silly, or that's childish. But I just, or why do you see that as your entertainment? I just don't see watching two black women or two women, period, fighting as entertainment. It's not entertaining. I don't see how people see that as entertainment.
Yeah, I wasn't entertained. I was just like, I had no entertainment value on it, and just no, it didn't entertain me at all. So
and like other people were saying, I pray that young boy. I pray that people saying, oh, he might have a target on his back. People might do this. I ain't seen none of them folks out there as tough. I ain't seen none of them people out there as gangsters.
Yeah, because if you gangster, you wouldn't wait till somebody is down on the ground and stuff, and then go in and get little licks in and all that stuff. It's just like,
so the young man ain't really got to worry about nobody jumping him unless he see a phone. If you see a phone, young man, then run, because that's when they want to fight.
Yeah, but that's when they big and bad.
Yeah, they real bad with the phone. Anyway, I apologize for cutting up on your panel. That was bad behavior.
You have no manners, Miss Cruiser. Do you
ever try to do better?
Go up on anybody's panel and cut up?
I know. I will try to do better.
Girl, thank you for letting me up. Have a great day. Let me see what you guys. Coolin drove an hour away after she dropped the kids off at school to go fight about YouTube shit. Okay. Anybody else want to hit the link and talk about this? Purple Peach said, Cruiser, you ratchet. Yeah. Hey, Miss Toby. Hey, Candy Cane. Yeah, that was just crazy. Hey, I'm that messy. I'm good. Yeah, we're just chewing the fat over, that little fight situation that happened. Hey, Stacy Roberson. So put a 1 in the chat if you are indifferent to what happened and you just took it for entertainment purposes and you didn't really think that much about it. Put a 2 in the chat if you think that it kind of bothered you, the whole thing about it. 1 in the chat if you didn't give a fuck, you watched it, it was entertainment, they can do whatever they want to do. Or 2 in the chat if you was like, I can't deal with this. It makes me think of too much and too many things and all this type of stuff. I need a vote. I don't know how to put a poll up yet. UNC girl, she won't never hit my link to show me how to put a poll up. You know, she a hater. She don't want me to win. Hey, Miss Toby, hold on. Let me put my banner up because they've been porn bombing people. So, you know, I don't want you to pull your titty out on me. Hold on. Miss Toby?
What?
I said, hold on. Let me put my banner up. They've been porn bombing people, so I don't want you to pull your titty out on me. Just
No,
in case it wasn't real.
I'm not Tracy. I won't pull my titty out. I'm not Tracy.
Just in case it wasn't the real you, I meant not you pull your titty out. What's up, Miss Toby?
Oh Lord. Okay, so I was rather disturbed because I couldn't believe that I'm not a mother, but hey, I'm a human being. I have, common sense. I don't understand as a mother, why would you bring a child to a fight? First of all, I don't understand why you as a woman of a particular age will leave your house, meet up with someone to fight, first of all. Second of all, to film it on YouTube. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that I couldn't get past it. And now to hear that they saying that there was a weapon allegedly a weapon there as well. And look at them, those people who pulled up in Mississippi, and then it was over for them. Let me put my banner up. Heat wave is coming up. It was over for them within a short period of time because they refused to leave. But yeah, that's crazy.
You talking about the two young ladies that were unalive when they went to someone's house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then as the lady was dying, she's gonna tell a woman over top of her, "I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Now you sorry after you went. See, this is crazy. Nobody, my life is not worth anybody on this entertainment app. Okay.
Mm-mm.
My
life ain't worth entertaining other people on this entertainment app to the point where I'm gonna lose it over some BS.
So when people are at your funeral services and everything, because people messy, they're gonna talk about you anyway. They're gonna say, "I'm actually at somebody's funeral because they was fussing with someone on YouTube and they met up with someone in the park that they didn't even know." Okay. It's one thing I'm going to your funeral because you died of a disease, natural causes, or an accident, or you was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Unfortunately, in America, that's how it is. You could go to Walmart.
Yeah.
And, become unalive. But I'm going to a funeral because your stupid ass got up, put on your clothes, drove somewhere,
talking shit all the way,
drove somewhere to meet a stranger that you don't even fucking know, took your child with you, first of all.
Now look, Voodoo saying she bought both kids. The 16-year-old jumped in.
Her daughter was there. Her daughter was there. Allegedly, her daughter was there filming it.
Yeah, this is my first hearing about that. Yeah, you did all that and showed up, and then what happened? Yeah,
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Yeah. I'm not even a mother, but I was embarrassed. I'm embarrassed just because I'm a woman. I'm embarrassed as a Black woman, and I'm embarrassed as a Black person, period.
Yeah, and I am sick. I like that's the whole point of me like making this video, because that's how it made me feel. Like it is so much other stuff out here that like to be worried about. You could be putting this effort into something that's going to help your own life, but like it's like people are just hell bent on destroying themselves and don't even care if they destroy their kids with them. That's what that kind of like made me feel.
What did you see the interview when Snoop interviewed her?
No, I couldn't even get no, I couldn't even get through that.
Okay,
what did I miss?
So I think some people in the chat was like, "Well, are you worrying about your son or anything might happen to your son?" And she was like, "I'm not worrying about it. What I'm trying to think fully. I might not be completely right, but to the fact that I'm not worried about my son. What happens happens. I
Well,
can't control anything to something to that nature. Yes, you could have controlled it.
hold on, just Andreas. Okay,
Betty
go
White,
ahead.
oh, shut up, girl. I'm up
She
here
could.
trying to talk about something serious, and you talking about I got the same hairstyle as Tiana. Girl, go sit down somewhere, Betty White. Go sit down for once, girl.
Oh, Betty White, Miss Toby said you got the same hairstyle as your little curly pig. You ain't got no hair. Go ahead. I'm just kidding, Betty White.
Okay, I'll hush. Go ahead and talk, Miss Heatwave, or
Heat
just
wave,
Andrea.
heat wave. What's going on?
Good morning, Ronnie Q. Good morning, Miss Toby. Good morning, just Andre. Good morning, chat and mods. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I just have to put in my 2 cents. For the first time, I went over. I don't know what sector. If that's the most sector, whatever. This guy, I think his name is Cam or something like that. I was in his chat. The whole thing. I got a little piece from Trish. She was playing the recording. This is what I have to say. I don't care who won the fight. In a matter of, I don't care anything about a fight. It's what happened during the fight. What happened before the fight. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, everybody, most people is based upon, okay, the kid jumped in, right? And all of that. And if it was my mom, I was going to do this if it was my mom. How many of us growing up went to a fight with our mother or father? Who does that? Is that the new norm? Nobody's not stopping and said, wait a minute, stop the madness. You have your responsibility. And the first thing they will say out of their mouth, I love my kids. I love. First of all, if you know your kids is going to follow you or whatever, how is your kids involved in your activities, what you're doing as a grown-up? Why are they so involved in that they knew about this fight, they wanted to be there? Or one is going to hold the camera and the next one is going to kick. What kind of bullshit is that? That alone was so disgusting. You hear what I'm saying? Because in a few years, in a very short, a matter of fact, right now, a 50, my God, a 15-year-old could father a child. Could we agree on that?
Exactly.
Okay, good. So now, what I'm looking at it as we as parents, we have to set an example for our kids, because if it don't stop now, what if she's sending mixed signals because he's gonna soon get a girlfriend, whatever, a significant other, and when he will think it's okay. I hope he knows that this is not okay. I hope she have a good talk with him, and even saying she's sorry because this is all on her. Because guess what's gonna happen? At this time, no one is not gonna be there to help him but the goddamn law.
No, she's unconcerned, according to who said that they saw Lady Snoop, Miss Toby. Like she can't do anything. She's like, oh, I can't do anything. Yeah, you.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. Like
Anyway,
she's
let me calm down so
unconcerned
somebody else
about
can
what
take
she
the
can do
floor.
about it.
Yeah.
But I understand exactly
Mhm.
what you're saying, because it's like I can't comprehend this
Mhm.
for myself. Go ahead, just Andreas.
Okay, so what I didn't understand is who takes them. I was thinking, what if the woman died? Okay, he hit the woman on top of her head. What if she had a stroke? She had something out there that someone can go to jail for the rest of his life. What mother puts their son in a predicament that he could potentially go to jail for the rest of his life?
She can still, if she could had a stroke right then, but she can still have some complications. She can still have a blood clot a couple of days later. She ain't out the woods.
Right. And I'm like, I have two grown kids. My daughter is 25. My son is 24. And if I'm doing something foolish, that's me. But I'm not gonna put my kids in harm's way so they can potentially go to somebody's prison. And I had a friend who was a standby at a fucking fight and got slashed on her fucking face.
Hey, room shaker. Yeah.
Oh well, well, Ronnie
she
Q.
had a gun. I said bullets don't got no name. And one time my kids called me and said, "Mama, we at a fight." I said, "Get y'all asses out of where y'all at, because bullets don't have no name and people do dumb shit."
Correct.
Well, can I just
Yeah.
say this
Go
real
ahead,
quick?
Miss Toby. Yes, Miss
I
Toby.
think Lady Snoop asked her why were her children there in the first place, and I believe she said, well, she's not originally from Texas. I believe she's from another state. I don't want to say what. Well, I think she already said it.
She said California.
Yeah,
Okay.
she said.
Hello. Everybody in this motherfucking room know that you just put the GPS on. So fuck that bullshit. Hey, go ahead, Miss Toby. Go. But I
Okay,
don't
so
want to
she
interrupt you.
basically said she was from another state and she really didn't have anyone there other than her children. So basically, I'm trying to I'm probably not saying everything that she fully said, but that was the gist of it. Like she didn't have anyone there. She's not from Texas. Okay, but well then that's even more reason that your ass should have stayed the fuck home.
Yeah, you
Correct.
you going out somewhere.
Is a 48-year-old woman is taking her kids to fight where potentially a weapon was around, potentially a pregnant lady was around, and a lady got hit in the top of the head by her son. Come on now, get real. And this shit in California, who do stupid shit like that? Nobody take their fucking kids to a fucking fight where somebody can get potentially hurt and the kid can go to fucking jail.
And then so like the one who Queen 88 who showed up alone, when you see 2 carloads of people pulling up, you don't reconsider if and like be like and think that it is gonna be a jump. You don't reconsider that 2 carloads of people may be coming to jump you. It's just like, where is the thinking? Like not that jumping somebody is right, but shit, if I see 2 carloads of people coming and we supposed to have a one-on-one, I'm like, I ain't trusting this, and I ain't got no people there with me. I ain't trusting that.
But what if that kid had gotten an unlucky blow that would have put him down, right?
Right.
Everybody was saying, "Oh, he should have jumped in," and she's condoning it. Oh, he should have jumped in.
He was protecting his mama. His mama wasn't protecting herself.
You know what was going to happen, right? Her ass was going to get the jail time. I hope she knows that, because it was going to be, he's 15. I thought he was even 16, 15 years old. That she could have been charged for reckless endangerment of a minor, correct?
Right. Child of a minor.
Child endangerment, yes. Crazy. So yeah, that's what it is.
Well, Miss Kimmy, that's what she said. If you see Snoop's live, that's what she said. She said, I'm not from here. I'm from California, and I really don't have anyone here but my kids. That's what she said, Miss Kimmy, on Snoop's live.
Well, that's the whole reason to keep your kids. Then what if CPS would have been called? Okay, so that you're in a different state, and your kids could get potentially taken away because you at a fight, wanted to fight some grown people, and your kid right there fighting with you.
Because first of all, they called CPS and a whole lot of nonsense. This was the case where CPS should have been notified. I don't give a shit. I don't know this. It's all about it's about the principle of the bullshit. All these CPS people that like to call that shit in. Call that in so it don't happen again, or it should open our brains, or it will save a life. Okay? That's what they need to call in. They're supposed to be dialing up CPS.
And you did all this for what? For what? What was it for?
And
I don't understand.
And a mother is supposed to protect their son. A mother is supposed to put their stuff in harm's way for their children, so their children won't get hurt. So
exactly
to me, what you say is that's some top behavior. He don't see you fight. He don't see you be at a fight.
And be an example. You're supposed to be an example too. An example.
Yes. And the thing about it is, okay, you fucked up when you brought your children along. Okay, so you're in the midst of a fight. So you don't know what he's doing. I get it. Okay, you don't know he's doing that. You know who you raised. You know who your son is, though. That may be why you bought him. But you didn't see this happening because you were in the midst of fighting yourself for some unknown reason. But after the fact, when you go on Lady Snoop channel and act as if, oh, you can't do nothing about what he did and this, that, and the other, as if you have not heard people saying that some men are going to come after your son, and that's all you have to say about it.
So now you don't put your son at risk.
Well, no, she also said she has folks from California that I don't know if they're going to come down. So now you got other folks that you're talking about that might come down, and now you're going to bring them into YouTube and internet drama. That's foolishness. That's crazy shit.
Who would come down here? Who would come down? You think I'm going to leave California to Texas? No.
Hell no. If it was my family member, Ronnie Q, no shade, no tea, I'll tell that bitch that's what the fuck you get. I ain't coming down. I ain't coming down for shit. Because first of all, I got my own life.
Right.
And I got my own responsibilities.
Hell no. He just starting out. He just starting out in life, and you're putting your son at risk.
Correct. And then you're gonna drag more people in for what? Because you weren't forced to get out there, and nothing could tell me after what I just heard about what she said. She could get people down here and all of that. Nothing could tell me different. That on their way there, they traveled together, and this was discussed. That this is what you're gonna hold the phone, and if you see she's getting the better of me, you do this, you do that. Nothing is gonna tell me any differently. Okay?
Film Noir, I agree. She still can have potential side effects from that headshot. I'm just shocked at the grown men who co-signed it. She could really have some serious effects from that.
He was brought up like that, Ronnie Q, because you know what? The first thing, I'm not a man, so I don't know how a man will feel, but I know that what a gentleman, how they will behave. You will try to break them apart, but I didn't see his mother in any immediate danger, in no life-threatening danger that he had to go and use whatever necessary force. All of that is bullshit.
What it seemed like to me was his mother wasn't getting the best of the girl to his satisfaction, so he wanted to help her, bring the lady down. Hold on one second. Amala?
Hey.
Amala? Hey. Okay.
Hey.
What you want to add, Amala? We're good. I'm good. I can't speak for Miss Toby. She was up here mad.
Listen, you all know there is the meningeal artery in the head, right by the temple.
Right by the temple.
And that lady was taking all those head shots.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is hit that meningeal artery one good time, and that's instant death.
Yep.
It's out.
That's death. He could have killed her with one blow. So you put your child in that kind of predicament to commit murder.
And
then
if he didn't hit it
on so many
levels. If he didn't hit it right, who's to say that she's not developing a blood clot there right now?
Correct.
Exactly.
After effects. Correct.
When you carry your baby for almost 10 months, you carry your son and you want him to be somebody. You don't think he gonna be a murderer. You don't think he gonna hurt somebody. You don't think he gonna get in a damn fight and be potentially go to jail for the rest of life. That's what a mother supposed to do, protect her son. There's no way fuck my son would ever be in an event that I'm doing dumb shit.
She's not even giving him a fair break at life. By getting him mixed up in all of this and knowing what's going on out here.
People,
you understand?
Now he got potential to look where he going, where his events are, because people could potentially hurt him. Hell no.
And the way he's saying,
And you know, these kids be, on social media thinking it's all gravy and stuff. And you got and you could actually have somebody, plotting some stuff, telling all their business on the internet and on social media. Yeah, you put your kid in a very precarious situation for no reason whatsoever, in my opinion.
What if he go to school? Know his location. Who's ever around him? That you put him. She put him in a bad situation that I personally would get my son out of town. That's what I would do if I was gonna do the right thing now. Get my son out of town because I don't know who can potentially hurt him.
But she's not thinking that way. She was thinking that way, that child would have never been there.
Well, it's just
know what? You all are thinking like rational, responsible adults who have accountability. You are all thinking like grown folks. This is not somebody in that frame of mind. You're talking about somebody that's raising an animal. You can't rational. How many times have you ever seen somebody outside with a pit bull trying to be rational? Please, little pit bull, don't bite me.
TT,
get out of here with that.
It is. It's me.
Yeah, I agree.
Please,
I
Mr.
agree.
Bear, don't attack me.
I doubt whether she's going to even scold him about that.
And at this point, it doesn't seem like she feels like he's done anything wrong.
Exactly.
So it seems like he's gotten the stamp of approval of this behavior from not only her, but I hear men. Now I read that men were applauding him. There were other women applauding him on a whole big platform that drew a whole lot of people. I don't know how many people were applauding that behavior. So I think that he's going to think that that's a
that's
a nut in his
behavior.
belt for his manhood.
Yeah,
so
he's gonna think. He's gonna think.
Ronnie Q, how many of them people are going to contribute to his funeral services, to the cost of his funeral services? How many of them people going to put money in on the bucket?
None.
How many people gonna put some money on his books if he go to jail?
None.
Can I ask a question? Is that the lady that was on Snoop? That Snoop was doing an interview with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know who heard that interview. I heard a little piece of that, but guess what? When somebody in her background, when that interview started, like you could have heard background noise, and I think Snoop asked her or was asking who was speaking in her background, something like that. If she was speaking with maybe her kids, I don't know. It sounded like she was somebody in the background was like Kiki and her or was involved in this. It wasn't coming out very clearly.
So are you thinking that that was the son? Is that what you're saying?
I think it could have. I don't know if the son or the daughter, but apparently it was her kids because she said if it's only herself and kids she have.
That's you.
Part, So that means this lady she sit and she discussed things with her children. And that is what, where parents get mixed up. Okay, your kids could be your best friend too, but then you have to stand up and know how to separate the two. You cannot be your children, especially at this critical age.
Miss Heatwave, that's what's wrong with society now, because people try to be the parents try to be their kids' friends. My mother used to tell me all the time, I ain't your goddamn friend. I'm your mother.
That's right. Somebody in the chat saying that was his son. UNC girl, what do you want to add?
Good morning, everybody. I just want to say this is so sad, but I listening to some of these lies, people were, like someone said on the panel, like making excuses why the son would do that, because like that's his mom, you would expect him to jump in. And as a mother of a son, I would never expect my son to hit a woman. I don't care if she got me by like my gums. Okay, do not put your hands on a woman. So it's just absurd to me that it's like, oh well, he was just protecting his mom. He is still, he's going to be a grown man in a couple of years, and I just don't think that you should encourage your son to do that, because if he'll hit a stranger, like he'll definitely bop your ass upside the head. He'll hit his sisters. He'll hit another one. Like, what makes you safe?
And why don't they mind go to, well, he should have broken it up? Nobody thinks that as a man, because do you look on the internet, you see so many men like the girl, what's her name, who was fighting in Mexico, and all these men standing up there with their cameras. See, it's so many bitch-made men out here that you're just gonna sit around and watch women fight instead of going in and breaking it up. So they think that's some normal shit.
Ronnie Q,
that's
I
right,
want to
Ronnie
add
Q.
one thing, guys. I'm not trying to jump in. I want to add one thing. I don't know if you guys is gonna, see that part of it. Now, to all the black men out there, our brothers, who want to refer as a king and all of that, y'all need to be, when y'all, impregnate, at the time before impregnation, y'all, that's your queen and all of that bullshit. As soon as the baby come, or before the baby come, everybody starts on, want a DNA test, or want this or that. A man supposed to be in the household because it takes a man to help to raise a boy to a man. I don't give a shit who say what. You see, probably if he had a man in the household there, he would have able to guide him and say, these are things you do and these are things you don't do.
But then even if you don't have a man in the house, everybody don't have a man in the house. It would be optimal to have a man in the house. But you don't congregate around men who would instill this type of bitch behavior in your son. You try to put if you don't have a man in your house, you try to put your child in a position where he is around a responsible man who's going to teach him the ways to be a real man, not the motherfuckers who condone bad behavior.
Surely the mother's not even trying.
And nobody, and this is the thing. I'ma still say she had no remorse. Teaching her son out there. There's no way in hell my son would be anywhere around this bullshit. It's this new generation. I believe it. I will die with saying this. It's this new generation want to be a fucking friend. Okay, my mama always told me I ain't your friend, and I tell my kids right now, I ain't your friend. Okay, I'm still mama. I run this. Okay, that's right. My son would be anywhere if I'm doing some fuck shit. I'm grown. I don't want you to be nowhere involved. And this is the thing. If you don't want to kick your black son out of jail, the bitch got a lot going on, and she take her son to go to prison. Come on now.
UNC girl, what else you have to add? Somebody's echoing.
It's not me. I was muted.
I think TC, that's you. TC, did you add anything?
I didn't say anything yet. I was just waiting for you to let
Go ahead, TC. I'm sorry. You're echoing, though. You got another device open?
No, I do not.
Okay, let me go on mute. Go ahead.
So, good morning, everybody. Number one, I feel like this is definitely it's me. It's a loss. It's a loss on both sides. There's no winners in this. So for the people who want to congregate and talk about winners, win, lose, everybody loses. Here's the reason why. You have a whole lot of talk about this situation. As we speak, there is a redefinition of aiding and abetting in law enforcement and legislation. Okay? Let me explain. We all know what aiding and abetting is, right? So I don't have to go into that. But anybody who's filming, anybody who's talking about it, anybody who's gaslighting are aiding and abetting. Anybody who drives somebody to the situation, aiding and abetting. Okay. So they have to now redefine all of, because we've talked about this. I know just Andrea knows, she's heard me say this billions of times because I said it for the whole, like last year, this year, etc. Of course, the reason for this thing called the pandemic was to get everybody off the streets so that they could redefine, so that legislation can catch up to technology. And they have done it. They redefined. But there's some other things that they did not actually finish and finalize. Aiding and abetting, as of today, is getting ready to be a new thing on the docket. So they're redefining some stuff. Okay. So all of this information, all the folks that's playing this information is all evidence. Artificial intelligence. Let me explain. We have a situation where we have, here's the thing, all of us older folks that's over 50, those that are inching up to 50, y'all, we know how to get out here, hustle, get ourselves together. We know how to, get our jobs. We know how to get paid. We got it. These young people, they don't know how to hustle like we do. Okay. But here's the thing. Artificial intelligence, don't worry about the names. You know how we have, this is my name, I'm TCHBC. They can find us because our faces are everywhere. Artificial intelligence, our faces are everywhere.
I was watching a guy who created artificial intelligence for Google, and he was the original creator for artificial intelligence. They just did a special on CNN, if you guys can go back and watch it, and he himself was talking about why he got out of it and why it was so scary to him that what the artificial intelligence was going to be able to do, and why he totally got out of and left Google, because he didn't want to be a part of what they were doing once they taught the computer to recognize people's voices and the facial recognition. So
there you go.
Did you see my comment?
And so
Ronnie Q.
And so
oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Let me just say this, and then here's the situation. We have jobs. These young people, we're not affording them an opportunity when old people get up here. Older people, not old, because they're really not old. 50, 40 is not old. 50 is really not. But here's the thing: when you get up here and you, what's gonna happen? Your children are gonna have to face this world, and everything is gonna be. We're gonna credit check. We're gonna check this. We're gonna check that. They're checking social media and everything else. The children will not be able to get a job, go to college, get in the military even. They will not be able to get clearances to get really, really good jobs. I'm talking about real, and those of you who are in the DMV, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's folks that are in the DMV that have a high school education. Some people that live in major cities have a high school education. And you know that you can get a nice job, nice paying job, for real, without even a college education. However, I push college education for a variety of other reasons, network and so forth and so on. But listen, they won't be able to. They won't be able to get any of this stuff because they're going to be identified as being, a menace to society. Go ahead. I'm on the mute.
And they're going to, like you say, they're creating these new laws and stuff to catch up with the internet, these new cyber laws that they're bringing about. So, who's to say what law they're going to bring about to capture a demographic of people, like they always try to, like position like crack cocaine is worse than the powder cocaine. So to capture a larger demographic of people that they want out of the fucking race.
There you go. There you go. So y'all feel me? Y'all feel me when I'm saying what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Those of y'all can connect the dots. You understand what I'm saying? It's big. It's bigger than anything. Because see, they don't understand this society. Because we have an underground civilization here in these streets, as we call in these YouTube streets. The whatever sector it is, it's still underground. A lot of folks be doing a lot of stuff, bobbing and weaving through and such and such, and it spills out into the regular world, you see. And so folks better be mindful of folks that's putting out the stuff. Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second. So somebody said we're over talking each other a little bit too much. Now, Femme Noir said that she checks social media in her profession at the international application. hence why she's a ghost on here. So that lets you know that these, so many jobs are already checking your social media activity, and a lot of people are not getting jobs, even though they have college education, all this type of stuff. And you notice the first time somebody go viral for some bullshit, the first thing they do is try to wipe out all their social media accounts. So it is a real thing, and people out here doing bullshit, and thinking that it's not gonna have any repercussions. Somebody's echoing. TC, that's you. I see your thing moving. Yeah, so and they think that it's not going to have any repercussions for their life. It's crazy. So, anybody else want to add anything?
Yeah, Veronica, do you know our phones, right, is the biggest spy that we have within the same phones?
Yes.
These things, okay, especially the Apple products. You know what happened? I don't know if it ever happened to any one of you guys, right? I was now trying to get on social media and so forth, right? So I made some kind of mistake. So when I called my courier, they were telling me, they were checking in on it. So they said they could not have helped me any further. So they called up Apple, right? And I have never experienced anything like that. And I swear, that fear is still in me. So Apple now was doing, they were doing whatever, what they call it, whatever troubleshooter, whatever they were doing, right? So I remember the person who was helping me. He said, Mom, are you dressed? And I'm like, yeah.
Bye, Miss Toby. Thank you. Go ahead.
That was a very weird question. I'm like, the hell he's asking me? So I said, can you repeat your question? And he said, I'm asking you, are you dressed? Are you decent? I said, yeah, but my neck of the woods, they don't have anywhere open right now, right? This is a Sunday evening. He said, no, I want to send through. He said he wants to send through something through the phone, right? They're trying to get, they want to take control of the phone. So I said, control of the phone. I said, but if somebody's going to come and get the phone, I just want my phone to be fixed. Yes. Yes. I said, okay. So I thought, stupid me, I thought that somebody's going to come up and take the damn phone and maybe fix it. I don't know. So he said, let me know when you're ready. I said, well, I'm ready now. So then he said, okay. So we're going to, in the next he told me how to place the phone. And he said, like, in the next 2-3 seconds, something like that, they're going to be sending through whatever signal, right? So then I turned and I said, oh, okay. He said it's going to be, they're trying to get whatever signal directly to the phone. But when whatever signal is coming in, it could scan other parts of your home. So then I cracked a joke and I said, oh man, I'm glad you told me that because I'm naked. And that guy got mad. He was like, Mom, listen, I asked you if you're decent. Please get yourself robed up or whatever, because we're getting ready to do this right now. So I said, no, I'm just joking. Okay. And let me tell you something. I'm holding the phone, right? They told me what I had to hold this phone. And the next thing you know, I saw a beam of red light. You know, like the guns that you know.
Yes.
Right.
Infrared, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw the lights coming through, right? It scanned just 1, 2. It didn't really hit back on me or anything like that, right? Nothing that I should have been concerned about. And that light, whatever they sent you, you should see how my keyboard was going to.
I've never heard of that.
Yes, I'm telling you.
That's weird.
Yeah, then they were done with that. I had a family member that was listening, and she's very good, tech savvy and all of that. So when I was telling her what happened, she was like, I've never heard about that. So she laughed about it. She said, you got to be joking, right? I said, no, I'm not joking. So she said, that is kind of funny. So then I called Verizon the next business day. That would have been Monday, and I told them what happened. So they called for a supervisor, and then the supervisor said, "Yes." I forgot what kind of that is like the extreme that they want to know before maybe they have to say, well, okay, the phone is not functional or whatever. Whatever it was, they fixed part of the business, and the other part now, but Verizon did the rest.
Okay, well,
And a lot
that's
of people say they
thank
never
you
heard
for
about that.
thank you for telling us about that.
Yep, yep,
Yeah, but I never heard about that.
yeah.
But
2016 that happened.
they are definitely monitoring our phone. Well, we know
Mhm.
that from the George Bush era. So,
Ronnie Q,
so
I gotta go, okay? But
go ahead.
I just want to say this last thing. I do tell my 25-year-old, my 24, be mindful what you put on social media, because I have had a conversation ever since they had their social media. Be mindful of what you put out there.
Mhm.
Even when it comes to their location, be mindful.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming up, Just Andreas.
Okay, y'all take care. Okay, bye bye.
Okay.
Bye
All
bye.
right. If you
You
have,
too.
I mean, who is that? TC, you still this TC?
No, I think that's Amala.
Amala, you have any closing
Yeah, that
words?
was yeah. I want everybody to pay attention to what has been going on in China for the last 20 to 30 years. They can literally be walking down the street. There's AI that can get the pupillary responses from the people walking on the streets and identify them just from their pupils. They can identify them from their face, the eyes, the voice, sitting in your car at a red light. They have all these different ways of uh tapping into who you are and finding you. So don't think for any second that you can hide and get out here on these internet streets and show your entire ass and won't be found out, because you will be found out. And it's to the point where it's leaking over into the US and affecting the way people get jobs.
Yeah,
Everything
that
that
Mission
this lady
Impossible
said on the
shit.
panel about, yes, yes.
Hmm.
Oh, even in the hospital, when we tap into IT, if we're having trouble with signing on to a particular whatever to try to document something, you call IT and they go, "Oh, what's the numbers on your computer?" And then they come in and they go, "Okay, I'm going to take over." And they literally go in and do all this little magical stuff and fix the problem. So, and the same with Apple. They use your IMEI number and they go in and do whatever they need to do with your phone and they fix the problem. So yes, this stuff is out here.
And you
That's
also
all I'm
have to
gonna say.
understand.
Everybody just be careful.
Have
Uh-huh.
you also heard about there have been different employers who require their employees to get these chips put in them and it's allegedly to make it the job run smoother, to get in and out of the business, to get in and out of their computer systems and all this type of stuff. I wish I would never, and they did the same thing with that
Yeah.
vaccination, where if you didn't get it you couldn't be a nurse anymore, and then all, because they wanted everybody to do that. So why did they so want you to do that, or you was going to lose your job for it? But now they have some employers that have these chips that you must get put under your skin to work at these companies.
There's I know a couple of engineers that I went to school with, and they actually have them in their arms. They go to get, in order for them to get into their place of work, they have to wave their arm in front of this thing or whatever, and it opens the door and lets them in. It even
Yeah,
clocks them in on their job. It's
exactly.
crazy, but they trying to
Hmm.
make it where this is how you will pay for things. If you think about, look at Apple
Exactly.
Pay from your watch. When you
They
wave your
have.
watch across, like if you go into a restaurant, fast food, and you tap your wrist, you tapping your watch up against a little
They have
device to pay for
they
the
have
food.
a
It's the same
they have
thing.
an actual store over in Norway. It's like a convenience store, like a 7-Eleven. There is nobody working in that store, and you go shop and you pick up whatever you want, and the door won't open until you until you pay. It already has everything added up that you picked up, and then you tap your watch on it, and you pay, and then the door will open up and let you out. Girl, they are trying to make human beings
Right.
obsolete, and they gonna use you for what? What they gonna use human beings for, though? It's interesting.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me
So,
ask you this, Ronnie Q. Have you all heard about um a couple of years ago when I was living in San Francisco? There was a black guy at UC Berkeley. He was working on this study, and his study was something to do with frogs and changing their genders, and then it was also something else with making the male frogs maleness less and less over time.
TC,
And
like
so
what's
I'm
Yeah,
happening to
saying
they
that
our
both
those
black
are.
men? No, go ahead. I was just letting her up. Look, like what's
yes,
happening to our young black men?
yes, and that's what's happening today. When the guy
Mm-hmm.
realized what was going on and what they were going to do with his information, he sued. He
I,
actually won his lawsuit,
well, I
and
think that may have
they're
been going
using it
on.
right now.
No, but I think may have
Go
been
ahead.
testing that out on humans over 50 years ago. Because look at ZX. I think he was the first test case in humans.
Stop.
But go ahead. You know I got a clown. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
You so
You
bad.
right.
Oh my Lord. But yeah, I caught on to that. I don't know how I ran into this study or how I happened upon it, but this guy, he ended up suing because he had a problem with what they were doing with the information that he had found out, and all of the things that he had put together. He really did a really good job, but he had no idea that they were going to use it against black men. They're making after I don't know how I'm saying this, but I hope y'all can understand because I can't even get it out right. But over time, they're trying to make it where men will be less and less men. Like their testosterone levels will be less and less. Their testicles will become smaller and smaller, and they're going to try
Mm-hmm.
to make them into a new breed of man or some kind of crap that I've read, and it's just weird, what they doing with our men, and it's starting with
And
the
then
black men.
and you
I've
gotta
heard
look
of that.
at
I've heard of that. I've heard of that before. Yes. That I've heard of that research, that study is, and it's not just study, it's like it's actually happening, and they put it into practice in
Yes,
terms of the target population that they're using. Has I think it is they've used African Americans, but in order for the let me just say this. In order for research to be any good, you have to have a comparative analysis. So you have to say, is it works in this group, but it doesn't work in this group, or it works in both groups. So just know, and I'm saying this to only say that, just to be fair, they are testing it on other races as well. They don't say it, but they are, because they have to have a proper comparative analysis, just to make sure that they know who and how it can be used in order to basically make it be beneficial to whatever it is that they're trying to do.
to target who they choose to target, and leave out who they don't want to be affected.
Well, right, because exactly, if I wanted to, if I had this thing and I wanted it to do X, Y, and Z, I'm targeting this group of people. In essence, what I have to do is get a whole nother target population, probably somewhere in a whole nother part of the world. Okay. But just I got to do that comparison. It works here, but it doesn't work over there, and or it works in both places. Oh, we hit the jackpot. When I say we, I'm talking about them. That's what.
Mm-hmm. And then, like somebody wrote earlier in the chat that we are all basically slaves, and you gotta really think about the point that look how much they have pushed the population to to they have now the federal minimum wage is something like $7.25. So they have no need to raise the living wages. During COVID, some people only got like two $1,200 payments, and everything was closed down for over a year, and they had no answers for you while they're giving tax cuts to the rich. There are more billionaires who are over the past couple of years. There are more billionaires being made in history, but see how they're squeezing the regular people. See how they're squeezing you to see how much you can go without, how little they can give you. And at some point, you know what I'm saying? And they don't care how you're going to make it. So at some point, this new world order type of shit is going to come into play, because they're already showing you everything increases. They talk about inflation, food increases, everything increases, steadily pressing on the regular people. And that's why you have people so bent up, so angry, so stressed, lashing out at each other and all this type of stuff, all this pressure that they're putting on regular people with no out. So it's like a powder keg, in my opinion.
Yes. Now with
you know what,
ladies,
Ronnie,
I'm going to drop down and Ronnie Q, thank you for allowing me up, and you all have a good day, and peace to all the ladies on the panel and everybody in the chat.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You coming up. It was nice having you.
Ronnie Q, can I say something?
Yes,
nice
TC. I mean, that's
Heatwave. I'm just gonna say thank you so much for having me here too, and thank you so much for Saturday co-hosting with me. I really, really appreciate you. Okay.
I appreciate
Bye-bye,
you
guys.
as well. Have a good
Have
day,
a blessing.
Heatwave. I'll see you around.
Bye-bye.
Okay, TC, you wanna closing words?
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. I just want to say to Femme Noir, it was really I appreciate, first of all, you, Ronnie Q, for always having these dynamic conversations, but taking a situation that's very cardinal and physical, but also let's dissect it into a whole into something deeper in terms of what's going on on a bigger level. So Femme Noir, when Femme Noir mentioned, something that and kind of confirmed what I was saying. I appreciate that, because oftentimes there are many of us in the beef sector, and I'm saying in this beefing sector, since I've been here, there have been many people who have dropped gems. I've heard you, Ronnie Q. You talked about the whole. You've been talking about a whole lot of things, but the one thing that really got me was that gentrification, and then you talked about education, and then all the other conversations that are had. I've had people talk about in the beef sector, talking about finances, talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Also talking about gems and stones, herbs and blase, and all that good stuff. So I just want to say thank you, because oftentimes when we drop gems, when we talk about stuff, people just overlook it, and then that's it. So thank you. I appreciate it.
And one thing I want to add, one thing I want to caution my audience. This is what I want to caution my audience to. You really need to be leery of these people who sit up on panels and try to play people for crazy, who are educated and who are giving you information when they only can talk about one thing, and the one thing they can talk about is ways to devise Black people. You really need to pay attention to people who are giving you information on various panels to try to help you and try to inform you and give you some information, because one thing that they would love for Black people to continue to do is infight amongst each other. And once you start, getting information, that's why they're taking so much information out of education. But once you get the information and the light bulb goes off. They don't want no light bulbs to go off. So you can trust and believe that you have people over here who are sitting up just wanting you to like lurk in dumb shit and poo-poo on people who are giving you information, because the only information they can give you is something that is divisive to you as a race of people. So that's what I want to add.
There you go. And also let me just say this, Ronnie Q, because it's deep in my heart. I find it very interesting because I'm a part of a lot of different organizations, and you said something about be leery about people who are on here trying to create divisiveness. I will never. Let me explain. No matter how rough it gets, I've had people come after me, say things about me, all kind of stuff, whatever. But I'm not coming after my folks. I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
I'm not going to do it because I have too much discipline. And anybody who is about it, who's bad about it, and anybody who has an inkling of a 1 inch of a brain, they will be able to see through the magnitude of BS. And they will be able to say they know me. There's certain people I know. I'll be like, yeah, right, okay, whatever. They're embellishing on a situation. So and so's line. That is their plays. They're this, that, and that, and the other. So I just want to say thank you to those people, because I'm a part of various organizations, and there's been organizational strife in these YouTube streets. I will will never be that person that's going to talk about folks in my communities. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Not for no click and view or whatever it is that these people. Because if I need to make some money, I can sell my tail and make a multitude amount of money better than I can these little clicks and views that are on here, and that'll be between me and that person. You hear what I'm saying? And that's not what I'm gonna do. But I'm just saying, if you need to make some money and you gotta resort to clicks and views, and you gotta resort to creating these choreographical, theatrical things, go to Tyler Perry, because this is some good stuff. Some of it is. Go to Tyler Perry, or guess what? Go to CBS, ABC, NBC, and go to Steven Spielberg or somebody, or go to work.
They're on YouTube creating it for free.
Creating all bunch of stuff.
All these lies, all these scripts, all these
Right.
plays, and all this transparent bullshit that anybody with half of a brain can see. But
there you go.
Unfortunately, a lot of people choose not to see. They can hear it for themselves and still support dumb shit and bitches who are sitting up here trying to divide them and act like they don't see a white woman in here trying to tear black people down and use all slave references and then say, oh, well, she's not from here. So it's crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy. Well, lastly, pyrite, shungite, and hematite. Pyrite, shungite, and hematite are 3 of the gems and stones that are going to counteract 5G. So oftentimes we all have these devices in our offices, devices in our homes, radiation everywhere, this, that, and the other. Go get you a snake plant and a spider plant. Your grandparents had those back in the day because they understood and they knew what the dealio was, because snake plants and spider plants kill the negative ions, viruses and bacteria, the negative ones. We have good ones. The negative ones in the air. Your pyrite, shungite, and hematite are 3 gems and stones that you put around all of your devices, put at your computer, put at the head of your bed, so that you can clear your mind, because folks are crazy as hell.
Right.
And I'm
Thank
out.
you, TC. I appreciate you coming up. UNC girl, are you at work?
I am.
You were awful quiet. I was like, uh-oh.
I'm working. No.
Any last words, girl? I appreciate you coming up.
No problem. This was a good live, Ronnie Q. It went, from one place and went somewhere else, but it was good. And I just want to say to everybody, keep your kids home. Okay. Like, it is not that serious to be on here doing all this stupid stuff online. And I hope everyone has a great Monday. Thanks for having me, Ronnie Q.
All right. Have a great week. I'll see you around.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, chat. Rose Bennett, I saw the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. If you guys would give me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. If you have a page, please share me out. Very Carey, I thank you for being here, being my mod, putting in work. UNC girl, I thank you for being here. I want to thank Demetra for coming up on the panel. I want to thank Jess Andreas, TC, Amalia, Miss Toby. Oh, it's one more person I'm missing. I always do this. I thank everybody for coming up on the panel. I thank you all for participating on the panel with me, and I'll see you around the YouTube streets. Please hit the like button on your way out, and if anybody send me a cash out that I'm not aware of right now, I want to thank you in advance. Of course, my phone is not by me. God dang it. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for coming by. Have a great day. See you around.